What's going on, guys? Welcome to Crunch Time. On today's show, we got the Bulls Meltdown, Blake Griffin returning to the Clippers, an early look at the playoffs, and much more. You guys are listening to Summit Jody and Robin Chowdhury, and this is Crunch Time. Let's go. What's up, y'all? Welcome to Crunch Time. It's Summit. It's Robin. You guys are tuning in. Robin, what's wrong with the Chicago Bulls? Please tell me. I have been going over this in my head all week, and that team is not a team anymore. It's just a gong show at this point.
I honestly don't know. They've dropped their last 22 out of their last 32 games.
The last 22 out of the last 32 games.
They've
These
lost.
guys look like Philly out there.
So they've only won 10 of their last 32 games. I don't know what's happening.
What do you think it is?
Man. A lot of it was because I think did they start losing when Jimmy Butler went out? I think that's what happened.
Yeah, they lost a little bit when he went out, and then he came back, and then I guess they just couldn't find their rhythm again.
He came back. He hasn't even been playing well since he came back.
Yeah, this last week he's averaging like 12 points or something. I don't know. It's like he's not even the same player anymore.
You know what he said? He's like, don't know, what did he say? Yeah, he's like, my knee's not the same, but then he's like, I feel like I'm hurting this team if I don't play. And then he's like, but I don't know what to do because I don't feel like I'm still the player that I used to be before my injury.
Wait, do you think it's like, did he say it's permanent, or did he say he can like fix it with surgery or something like that?
I don't know. I don't think he said anything like that, but I think he's saying that his knee isn't good right now. Like, you know what I mean? But he says that he still wants to play because he wants to help the team.
Man, maybe it's a Chicago thing. Maybe it's like the Derrick Rose curse in Chicago.
Yeah, the whole injury thing.
Here's my problem with Chicago. You are the Chicago Bulls. You guys are a historic franchise, you know? And on top of that, you're being paid to be professional basketball players. I'm not even a Bulls fan, but when you guys are being paid millions of dollars to like
I can
compete,
already see it frustrating you when you're talking about it.
Man, I don't know. You're a professional athlete. You're being paid millions of dollars. On top of that, you're wearing the legendary Bulls jersey, and you guys can't even put the courage in and put the effort in to compete, okay? Like, I don't understand it. Your entire city is watching you. I'm not even a Bulls fan, and I'm watching you. And it's just sad. I just can't. There's no fire. You guys are, it's useless. And you guys are it's just sad to watch, man. Fucking Detroit is right there, and they're playing with, okay, let me put this in perspective. Yes. You're a huge Knicks fan, okay?
No, I was going to say this.
Okay, listen. The Bulls can make the playoffs, okay? They can make the playoffs. They won't win anything, okay? But they can make the playoffs. Just because you can't win anything in the playoffs isn't a reason for you to not try to make the playoffs, okay? Yeah. If that was like a proper mindset that you could have, then the Knicks, they'd be 0-81 right now, or whatever their record is. Like, look at the Knicks. They have nothing to play for right now, but they play with more freaking passion than the Bulls do. The Bulls lost to the Knicks back to back, and then Orlando yesterday. Dwayne Dedmon looked like Shaquille O'Neal and Hakeem Olajuwon put together.
My favorite highlight of this season was the Knicks being Chicago back to back.
It's retarded. Chicago for the longest time has been, we're a defense first team. The defense is what drives us, and that's our identity. Dwayne Dedmon, that guy on Orlando, 95% of the NBA fans don't even know who Dwayne Dedmon is. They probably think he's like some waiter or something.
Who is Dwayne Dedmon? I did not hear this guy until yesterday.
This guy had like a double-double yesterday, and this guy freaking only the Bulls could make this guy look like Hakeem Olajuwon and Tim Duncan. Like, this guy's just this guy had the game of his life, and of course it came against the useless piece of shit Bulls.
He dunked on Taj Gibson, stared him down. I was like, yo, who the fuck are you to stare him down? I don't even know who you are.
God, freaking anybody could do that. Who's a useless player? I don't know. Lance Stevenson could dunk on freaking Taj Gibson and stare him down right now, and I'd be okay with that.
You could say Isaiah Thomas because he can't dunk, so that would make sense, right?
Yeah, man. Even freaking Steve Kerr right now could put a jersey on and dunk on Taj Gibson.
I think you're a little bit too harsh on them because you have to keep in mind their defensive anchor, man. Like, Joakim Noah was their defensive anchor, and he's not been there most the entire season.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And I feel like ever since he went out there, like, you know what I mean? Like, when he's on the floor, he's like communicating with everyone. He's so into it. He's always talking on defense. Like, he anchors their defense, like, pretty much. Ever since he's been out, like, he hasn't been there, I just feel like their defense has gone to shit.
Okay, but that being said, chances are this team is going to either break up completely, or they're definitely going to lose some pieces in this offseason. Does that mean the Bulls? I think. Okay, this is what I think. Let me give you my theory.
Yeah.
So I think there are two teams in the league that are at that stage where it's like, we're not gonna shut down and reboot and stuff, but they're definitely gonna like update their roster. So they're not gonna restart, they're not gonna tank or anything like that.
Yeah.
But they're definitely they're gonna go into that phase. I think Chicago is one team that's gonna do that. They're gonna just get rid of all the garbage pieces that they have, which at this point is their entire team, and then after that they're gonna put pieces around Jimmy Butler because they've decided as like him for their franchise player. And then I think they're going to start making the climb once again. I don't think they're going to be properly competitive. Like when I say competitive, I mean enough to win a championship. I don't think they're going to be properly competitive.
They have such solid pieces, man. Like I think they just need like a couple additions, maybe one or two.
Man, Pau is going to leave next year. And Joakim, people are talking about Joakim in New York or the Lakers or something.
I really hope he comes to New York. I want that defense. And that, I think, like the heart that Joakim Noah brings, man. Joakim Noah. You hear him scream when he plays, man? He'll get a block and be like, ah! You know what I mean? Like flexing his arms and just screaming at the top of his lungs.
I know, honestly, you don't realize how much you miss that kind of stuff until he's injured.
It's true, though, man. If I had a guy like that on my team, oh, man. You just like...
Shouts, you're that guy on our team.
No, I'm not.
You're definitely that guy on our team. All you do is scream.
Screaming? I'm never screaming. We know someone on our team that's always screaming.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, never mind. But what do you? Okay, this is what I think. Or actually, this is what I'm going to ask. Do you think the Bulls will make the playoffs? They have no energy right now. They have no fire. What do you think?
They're not going to make playoffs this season. Detroit
intentionally, or do you think they'll try to?
Well, they're always. You can't be in the 9th seed and not try to. Like, I mean, the team should try to, but I don't know. We can't really talk for the players and if they're going to put effort in it or not. But Detroit's 2 games ahead of them right now, so I think they have 3 more wins and 1 or 2 less losses. But
do you think Detroit has a better chance of beating Cleveland, or do you think Chicago does?
I think Chicago does for sure.
I think so too.
The Cavs are going to destroy Detroit if Detroit takes the 8th seed.
Yeah, man, the Cavs are another issue. I don't know what the Cavs are doing either. Like everything they do revolves around LeBron. Like these guys take nights off every single time. And I honestly don't know if they can win it today this year.
This one former player, he said that he's like, if I had somebody on my team that's had 1 foot in and 1 foot out and is constantly saying that we need to be a championship team, like I wouldn't really try for that player if he was the leader. Like he's talking about LeBron.
Really?
Yeah, because you know what I mean? Like everybody knows that LeBron really, really, really wants to win a championship. And imagine if you had him on your team and you know he's LeBron James, you know he's in it for rings. And if he doesn't get the ring this year, you're obviously wondering to yourself, shit, is he going to stay here next year? Like what's going to happen? You know what I mean?
Do you think LeBron could leave again?
Fuck, you never know with LeBron, man. He could.
Yo, what you said just now about the 1 foot in, 1 foot out thing, that describes LeBron James perfectly in Cleveland right now.
It's like
perfectly.
You're just in it, like he's just in the situation to see if he's gonna get it. Like if he doesn't, I feel like he'll just leave. Like I feel like everyone knows this. He's totally regretting this whole Cleveland situation at least a little bit.
Man, Miami has bounced back after him.
Yeah,
they're competitive again. They look good.
Yeah, they actually look good. But I'm saying, like, think about it. When he went on Miami, he was with Dwayne Wade, who already won a championship. He's with Chris Bosh, who's been in the playoffs a couple times. But he's a perennial All-Star by the time he went to Miami with Chris Bosh, right? Which, by the way, it was actually supposed to be Melo that went there with them, not Chris Bosh. I think they only took Chris Bosh into Miami because Melo fucked that whole plan up.
We'll get to that later, Chouts.
Yeah.
Don't get too emotional yet.
But so he goes there. He's with a bunch of experienced players, right? But he's coming here into Cleveland, where Kyrie Irving has never been to the playoffs. Kevin Love has never been to the playoffs. And now he has to baby them and pretty much help them get through all of this and help them get experience throughout this whole thing. On top of that, Kevin Love missed most of the playoffs last year, and Kyrie missed the finals last year. So, I mean, it's very unlikely that's going to go well for them this year in the finals. Just not because of how good they are, how bad they are. It's just the whole chemistry thing. You can't get 1 year's worth of team chemistry and go win a championship next year.
I mean, at this point, it's like almost 2 years of chemistry, but also I think matchups are a huge part of it. There's that report that came out recently. I know we're going to go to this later, but it just fits in here.
Yeah.
That Andre Iguodala might not be back as soon as expected. And Andre Iguodala is huge for the Golden State Warriors because everybody knows the finals this year will either be Cleveland against San Antonio or versus Golden State.
Yeah.
If it's versus Golden State, I don't know. I think they have a chance.
You think the Cavs have a chance?
I think so. I think they have a better chance this year than they did last year.
The only reason why I would feel that the Cavs would have a chance is just because you know how determined LeBron James is to not lose this year. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the Cavs will be healthy this year, assuming nobody gets injured again. Yeah. But otherwise, if health is good and, they have a little bit of luck on their side, I think they have a chance.
Yeah, for sure. Plus, when LeBron James is determined, man, that guy can be friggin' monstrous.
Remember his numbers last season?
He was getting like 15 boards in the finals.
Like 40 points a game or something crazy. It was disgusting.
Yeah, it was crazy. But
if he can do that with a garbage team without Kevin Love and Kyrie, I think the potential is there for them to make some noise in the finals this year.
Yeah, but who do you think, you know what I mean? Like, the biggest thing about a championship team, you need the role players, the supporting cast, right?
Yeah.
Who is that supporting cast on Cleveland? I think Channing Frye was a crazy good addition for their team.
Channing Frye was great. He's a veteran, too, so he can hopefully get J.R. Smith and, Shumpert and them in line.
Yeah. Plus, dude, even when you watched the finals last year, Shumpert's defense was great. That's why I love Iman Shumpert. I hated it when he had to leave New York, because his defense is really solid.
You like Iman Shumpert, man. Every time I see Iman Shumpert shoot, I don't even look at the net. I just every time I see him put it up, I just look at the other side of the TV, because I know they're gonna be running back to get him back on defense. It's gonna be a miss.
Yeah, that's his problem. Offensively, he sucks. But I mean, as a defensive guard, he's really good.
Yeah. Also on Cleveland, I mean, you have so much offense around you, so having a person who's strictly primarily defense focused, like Iman Shumpert, I think that also does them some good as well.
But how Miami had who did they have? They had Ray Allen, they had Mike Miller, they had those random guys that would give them key shots when they needed it. You know what I mean? Yeah, if Cleveland has that in Channing Frye, and they even have James Jones, those kind of guys. Even what's his name? We can't even forget Matthew Dellavedova, because this time he'll be coming off the bench, right? So that would be solid too.
Yeah, I think they definitely have a better chance than they did last year.
Yeah.
But, we'll wait and see. You know who else has a good chance? Not a great chance, but a good chance to make some noise in the playoffs this year? The Clippers.
Yeah, Blake Griffin's coming back, right? Well, he's serving his 4-game suspension right now, I think, starting today.
So here's what I think about the Clippers and Blake Griffin.
Okay.
People are talking, ever since Blake Griffin went out, everyone's like, oh my God, the Clippers are doing so well. Maybe they're better without Blake Griffin. You're not better without Blake Griffin. You can't be a better team.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard, that the Clippers are better without Blake Griffin, honestly.
Because they had such a good record after Blake Griffin got injured. So everyone's like, oh, maybe this is the key. No. Maybe it should be CP and DeAndre. No, okay, this is what I think. I think the Clippers can win games without Blake Griffin, but they can't be winners without Blake Griffin, You can win a game here or there, but you can't compete with the elite teams, and you can't win the title without Blake Griffin.
Dude,
so that's just a garbage statement.
The leader of this team is Chris Paul, okay? We know Chris Paul is one of the smartest guards, one of the smartest players in the NBA, okay? I'm sure he knows what it takes. Although he hasn't won a championship, I'm sure he has an idea of what it takes to win one, right? So when your leader is saying something, I'm quoting Chris Paul right now, he's like, we're in it for a championship, and there's not going to be a championship without Blake Griffin. That's specifically what he said. Yeah, so you can't tell me that they're better off without Blake Griffin. He's averaging 24 points, 9 rebounds, and 5 assists during this season, which is crazy. He's basically the second playmaker on this team.
Yeah, no, definitely. You can't fill a void with those numbers, No amount of Austin Rivers and Jamal Crawford pulling up from half court. And Wesley Johnson, and even Jeff Green is going to make up for Blake Griffin. And
I feel like with him coming back, it's going to be so much better. And I feel like for Jeff Green, there's just going to be so much less pressure on him, right?
Yeah, definitely. That's a great point. I agree with
that. He came in thinking, shit, Blake Griffin's gone. I'm going to have to score a lot. And this guy's one of the most inconsistent players ever. All the Clippers wanted him to do was just come off the bench and score the ball a bit, right? I don't know. Is he going to come off the bench when Blake Griffin's back?
No, Jeff Green plays small forward.
Oh, he starts?
I think so. Yeah.
Well, especially when Griffin's back, that guy all he does is need to average 12, 13 points a game and play defense. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, with Jeff Green, they also got Paul Pierce, who hopefully will be good to go by the playoffs. I think Clippers Clippers are a team with high potential. That's what I think.
Yeah, but Summit, let me ask you this: Why do you think they can never they can't get past that hump in the playoffs. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know it's always in the end, closing games and things like that. I think they get away from what they do, from like their identity and stuff in the last little bit, because they don't know what to do. Then they get frantic. They start throwing the ball around. Chris Paul just like chucks something random up, and everyone's like, "Oh, Chris Paul's not clutch."
One thing I hate about the Clippers, this is probably why I don't really root for them, is because they complain so much.
Yo, 100%. They're the biggest whiners in the entire NBA.
They cry about every single call. You literally see him, Blake Griffin, it's their whole team. It's like contagious.
It's even Doc. Doc is leading the cheers of cries.
But we know Doc Rivers though. He's always he's always out loud about what he thinks about the game and stuff like that.
Yeah, man. Like you can like watch a Clipper game, and something tiny will happen on one end of the court, and you will just hear Doc Rivers like through the mics of the freaking commentators just screaming. That is who Doc Rivers is.
That's why he has no voice.
Yeah, that's.
Have you heard him talk? He doesn't even have a voice.
Yeah. Can the Clippers win it all? Because so how the playoff thing is set right now. We were talking about this earlier, but they'll verse the Grizzlies in the first round, and because the Grizzlies are so injured, there's probably a good chance that they'll get past them. But then the way everything's set up, the chances are they'll probably end up versing Golden State in the second round. The chances of them beating them are not good.
Whoever wins from the 4th and 5th seed is gonna play the Golden State Warriors no matter what, because there's no way that the Golden State's gonna lose to whoever takes the 8th spot, whether it's Houston, Utah, or who's the other team fighting?
Dallas.
Right? Dallas, yeah. So, but the cool thing
I
is
really hope it's Houston.
Dallas did beat Golden State once.
No, I really hope it's Houston. Houston's another team that just like they don't know what they're doing. They're just a mess right now as well.
Yeah, we should totally make a segment where we just talk about the biggest messes, like the biggest, you know what I mean, the most messed up teams,
the most trash teams in the league. We could have like a 3-hour show just about that.
Yeah, but how do you? If the Clippers do play Golden State in the second round, how do you think they can beat Golden State? What do you think they have to do to beat Golden State?
I think their defense has to be ridiculous.
Yeah.
And especially if Andre Iguodala is not out, which is just a huge lift for them. I think the way to beat beat Golden State is you have to stop Steph Curry.
Yeah.
I think because Steph Curry, he's like he's their best player in terms of scoring and stats and all that stuff. But you also have to stop Steph Curry in terms of like the team spirit. Because if Steph Curry plays bad, or if he can't, get the team going, I think that'll hurt them at first. And also, if your best defender is on Draymond Green, then I think that'll make things difficult for the Warriors.
Okay. First of all, you're right about the whole Steph Curry thing, because the first key to actually try to beat them is to stop Steph Curry. Although that's not going to work just by stopping Steph Curry, but that is the first step, right?
Yeah.
But the whole JJ Redick and Klay Thompson matchup will be dope.
Can JJ Redick guard Klay Thompson?
That's what I'm thinking. I don't know. I know offensively these two will be crazy, but I think defensively Klay Thompson can stop Redick more than Redick can stop Klay.
Yeah, Klay Thompson's got size on JJ Redick. He can just take JJ into the post and just shoot over him.
But I mean, what do you think they would do if, like, I was thinking that, because Blake Griffin can play the center, right? If he plays the center when Golden State plays a small ball lineup, Blake Griffin can guard Draymond Green. I feel like that'll help so much. But then what the hell is DeAndre going to do?
Yeah, definitely. But DeAndre's free throws is also going to be a problem for the Clippers.
Yeah. But I mean, Bogut can't shoot free throws, so
I think you have to have a quick defender and a large, a big defender on Draymond Green, because Draymond Green's a playmaker. That's how he gets the team going. He's their engine. Yeah. So if you can somehow stop the engine of the Golden State Warriors, I think you can beat them.
I honestly think Blake Griffin can stop him. I feel like if DeAndre has to guard Draymond Green, it's going to be a really big problem.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah. It's the same thing for every team that plays Golden State. Defense, and you need to be able to hit clutch shots, because you know that they're going to hit clutch shots one after another, but you have to be able to come back with one right after, like, to counter their shots each time.
Yeah, Golden State will also beat you in transition as well, so you have to get back on defense.
Yeah,
because they're going to beat you quick and they're going to beat you hard. So whether it's a layup or a wide open three on the fast break, you got to be ready for that.
Pretty much, you have to play perfect. Like, that's how good of a team they are. You just have to play. There's no room for any mistake whatsoever. But on top of playing
there's no margin of error.
On top of playing perfect, you just gotta watch out for. There's so many threats, but I mean, in order, I'd probably say Curry, Draymond and Clay, those three.
You think Dre's a bigger threat than Clay
Yeah.
because of his passing ability?
Yeah, if you can stop him from running down the floor, I feel like that'll take away a lot of things from Golden State.
How are you going to stop Draymond Green from running down the floor?
Fuck,
Just trip
I
him?
don't know. Get back on transition ASAP. Get in front of him.
Chowdhury guy, it's time for the bop of the week, the breakout player of the week, crunch time edition.
All
You
right.
got your bop?
Yeah, I do.
Chowdhury guy, our bop music, please.
Bop of the week. And Summit, your bop of the week.
My bop of the week on the Lakers yet again is Julius Randle.
Julius Randle. Oh, he got a triple double.
He did. He just had his first triple double a little while ago.
Okay.
I think last game he had his first triple double, and especially with D'Angelo Russell out now for a little while, I think he has potential to get even bigger, and even better. This past week, he averaged 15 points a game, 16 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, almost 2 blocks on 59% shooting from the field and 88% shooting from the free throw line.
In the words of the great Kobe Bryant, he is Lamar Odom in a Zach Randolph body.
Preach! Who is your...
My bop of the week is one of my favorite rookies of this year, and no, it's not Kristaps Porzingis. It's Devin Booker of the Phoenix Suns.
You think he could be the franchise player for Phoenix?
I don't like the whole idea of being a franchise player. I mean, no, I don't think he can be a franchise player for Phoenix, but he is really good, man. Like, this guy can score, he can distribute, he can play defense, he can get to the cup. When we first saw Devin Booker, we thought this guy was just a shooter. We saw him in the three-point contest. He has a gorgeous form.
Yeah.
But like this last month, he's averaging 22 points, 5 assists, right? But this guy's been getting to the hole way more than I thought he could. Like, he can shoot, and on top of that, he can get past his defender and get straight to the cup. He had 28 against Kobe the other day, which was pretty dope. And yeah, I think he's a really versatile player.
I think he has the potential to be Klay Thompson, but a better playmaker.
Exactly. That's exactly what he is, yeah. And it's his first year. He's not even 20, man. Like, this year's rookie class has been crazy, man.
Man, when you hear about their ages and you realize how young they are, and you're older than Devin Booker, and this guy's rolling in money right now, and he's just, he's doing what he's doing out there on the NBA floors. It's just amazing to see.
He's a good-looking guy too, man.
Yeah, he's a good-looking guy too.
What?
Devin Booker,
funny.
you have Crunch Time's approval.
It's not funny at all. He's good-looking. He's hot stuff.
But guys, that's it for today's show. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Summit. That's Robin. This is the Crunch Time Podcast, and we will see you guys next time.
See ya.